One of the dangers of having drunk characters in the script is the pitfalls of drunk acting. I was curious if you guys did sort of like research to avoid the stereotypes and that, because you do it very well.
You know, we had, when we, were preparing for the film, we actually had, I hate to use the term workshops, there was some kind of workshopping of 1 pint, 5 pints, 7, 10, 12, and trying to, I think the thing about drunk acting is don't do anything. If people who are drunk are trying to act not drunk, they're not trying to act more drunk, so I think that's the key for me personally of how to act drunk.
We had to increase our drunkenness by 1 pint per pub, but at the same time, that is offset by adrenaline bursts from fighting. So we had to, we'd calculate, okay, so we're in pub 4, so we've had 4 pints, so we're this drunk, but we've just had a fight, so it'll actually be more like 2 pints. It was a puzzle to keep track of it.
Mathematical kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was, yeah. Also, my character hasn't drunk for 16, 17 years, so to then straight away do, shots and pints, there's a big impact there.
Simon, regarding your character's very kind of unique look in the film, I was wondering if that was kind of included in the script in the writing process, or did that kind of evolve as you got to know the character better?
It did, because I kind of wanted Gary to be a goth, because I was a goth when I was his age, or the young Gary, and I was totally into the Sisters of Mercy, and the clothes that I wore in the film I would have completely worn at that age. So it was always part of his look that he'd look kind of wraith-like as well, because he's like a sort of throwback. Comes out of the past, and it was very much in the script that was how he looked, yeah.
Nick, I was curious to know, because obviously someone being involved with the writing, do you get much kind of input in the pre-production stage on your character?
Yeah, absolutely I do. I mean, we also executively produce this too, but I mean, in all of the films, it's Simon and Edgar will write it, and then, I then get a draft of that, and I make a lot of notes on the whole thing. I give them that draft back, and then we sit in a room and probably take 4 or 5 days and go through the whole thing line by line. And, any notes that they like in terms of jokes or notes on their jokes, if they like them, they're kept. If they don't like them, it's thrown out, or we discuss it. Why don't you like it? What about this? And things come from that process too. And then another draft is made from that process, and then we move forward.
Do you guys have like a shorthand now in order to get like the correct sort of scene, like on set? Do you guys even need to, does it even need to give you direction, or do you just sort of like know what you want and it's a good kind of communication that way?
Yeah, I mean, Edgar's the director, and so we always want direction from Edgar, because once we assume our roles in the production, in the principal photography stage of the production, then that's what Edgar's role is to direct us. And even though I've written the script with him, we've come to the shooting knowing the script well, we still want to be, knowing that we're getting it right. So, yeah, and we do have a shorthand. It is like, we kind of tend to know what he wants before he asks us, and certainly with Nick and I, we have a shorthand, because we don't, we can read each other's minds pretty much.
Well, it doesn't feel, you never feel it, it just happens, it's how it is,
Obviously the film series has a tremendous amount of fans, and I was curious to know if, when making the film, the heavy burden of sort of fan expectations, how does that kind of weigh on your shoulders? Are you ultra aware of it? Or
I don't think I don't think you can. I don't think you should think about it. I think, we are aware that there are people that love Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and Spaced and Paul and Scott Pilgrim, but I think once you start trying to pander or second guess what they want, then you have a problem. I think it works that we make the films that we want to make, and we make the films that we would like to watch, and we make the films that we hope our mates would find fun and enjoyable. And we're very fortunate, I think, to be in a position where we've essentially found hundreds of thousands of like-minded people who like our stuff, So, I think once you start trying to dilute what you do by making people and pandering to individuals' needs, then you have a problem.
You have to blaze the trail rather than, try and predict what trail people want to follow. You have to kind of try and stay ahead of the game a little bit, and, be conscious of not trying to alienate anybody, but certainly try and have them come to you rather than you go to them, I think.
And once you start sitting around thinking, well, listen, Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz were great, so they will just eat up whatever we give them. you know, you're doing.
You will fail.
You will fail.
In that respect, what do you guys hope that fans will get from watching the 3 films in a row?
They'll get what we tell them to get.
I hope they get what they need, you know, and what they might not know that they want or expect. I hope they feel very satisfied and kind of come out thinking it was a fitting conclusion to that particular group of movies. That's what it has been for us, and we're very, very proud of it, and so excited to have it come out. You know, it means a lot to us that we've managed to make 3 films in the UK, you know.
Well, just as a final question, as a lot of people will be heading off to see the film on its opening few nights, what's a good kind of pre-drinking game, in a way, to kind of get people in the spirit for seeing the film?
Maybe have a shot. Don't drink too much because you might then have to pee in the middle of the film and you'll miss something very important. So, you know, if you want to drink, if you feel the need, knock back a little whiskey or vodka or something as a little as a livener.
Maybe I'd say a little. What are the little glasses of beer called here?
We've got pots. We don't have ponies anymore. They got rid of them.
Okay, so I'd say a little half, you know, and a little shot and head on in.
But then go for a pee before you see the film.
Yeah.
Sounds